Hi guys, Dorota International Nail Artist and Educator here, and today we are going to do the rebalance on my nails. They're a bit shorter than usual, but I kind of really like them now too as well, so have a preview of them here. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, hit the like button or share as well so that others can see it too. If you're new in here, don't forget to subscribe to see the tutorials every Monday, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So let's start. That's my nails in fillet, and if you didn't see this video, go back because there's lots of detail how to do the prep, how to do the cuticles and everything. So they nicely prep and infilled, and we can do the high shine no wipe top gel on all of them to create this angel set of the nails. Like, I actually really love it. Such a nice, beautiful color. So I'm just applying nice and thin layer of the top coat on the entire set. Like when you do that, please check it how the light is reflecting on this top coat. You don't want to have like any disturbance in it because the chromes is always enlarging everything. So I'm kind of trying to apply it nice and clean and take my time. Especially when you have just finished the filing, like ideally you want to wait a couple minutes before you do it. I should wait a little bit longer because I can still see dust particles flying here. Pull my huge nail folds down. It's actually unbelievable how the consistency of the products change depending on the winter and the summertime. Like, I love this top coat so much now. It's so runny and so watery, and sometimes it feels like I had actually dilemma even in one of the videos which I recorded over the winter months. Was it a base or was it a top coat? It thickened it so much. Okay, and then the thumbnail. Again, pull the nail folds down because otherwise you wouldn't have a chrome in there. Cameraman is blowing some dust particles on me. I have to always blame someone. Okay, just before I'm curing them, I'm checking everything, and I'm not happy about this one here. That is better. And then give it a cure. So depending on your light, you would cure it anything from 30 to 60 seconds. I like to give it 60 seconds cure. And then that's the chrome which we are going to use. So that's an angel pigment. And I love it because it has like those pink, orange and purple colors coming through it, depending also of the light as well. Looks awesome. Okay, so just a couple seconds longer and then we can open it up. Usually when I'm applying the chromes, you could use like either eyeshadow applicator. I quite like to use my fingers, but make sure you don't have any oils on your fingers, okay? Okay, so that's my set nicely cooked. And then I'm touching like this. So bring some chrome into your nails everywhere, just like that. And then start rubbing it in. So first of all, you want to bring this chrome in, and then you rub this in. So pretty. I was very tempted to do it on my last set, but I went for a baby boomer just because I had to get used to the length, because it's a different length on my nails. So oh, it's so pretty. Like, I love it. I love it. And I'm the fan of the nails which are done mainly with the gel. Like, I don't like necessarily wearing a gel polish on my nails. So this is a perfect combo because it kind of gives me a little bit of color, but at the same time it looks just so amazing and so thin on the nails. Look at this, absolutely perfect. Okay, close the chrome so you don't drop it. And then I'm just going to massage it a little bit better to remove also any loose particles, because loose particles can give you those a bit more matte finish, and if you want to have those nice shiny look of the chrome, I always kind of massage it better, especially in those nail folds in the corners there, like everywhere. Then the next step, because we want that to last, scratch the free edge. And the reason for it is if we do not scratch the free edge, we are gonna apply the top coat over a shiny top coat, and it's likely that it can chip, because the gel always sticks in to either a rough surface or a surface which has inhibition layer, but we have no inhibition layer and we have no rough surface, so at least we are scratching those free edge so we can get a little bit of rough surface. Now, for those of you who feel confident that you could go and paint straight away with your one stroke, you could do so. I had some scratch, I just rubbed it in. I do not feel that 100% confident, and just in case, I rather to have those space for, like, room for improvement. So I'm top coating my chrome, and then I will be painting over it later on. Because if I would make a mistake, I wouldn't be able to wipe it off, because that will take off my chrome. Okay, so we have to top coat it again. Cap those free edge like really well, because that's the only place where our top coat is gonna holding into the nail. Okay, it kind of doesn't hold on this shiny surface, so the only place it holds is the free edge. And by capping the free edge, my brush splits, caps the free edge, and then my brush splits on the other side and caps the free edge, just like this. Okay, I have capped it, the entire free edge is capped. You don't have to go like this. Okay, the thumb. Cap the free edge, and again 60 seconds cure, so we can move on into the next part of the design. Okay, my nails are cooking, so let's prepare the paints. That's the colors which we are gonna use. And I like to grab some baby wipe as well. And then open it by twisting, like so. You open it by twisting, and we squeeze out some white. Not a lot, just a tiny bit. Some magenta. I actually really like how this color looks. There we are. Some magenta. And then once I'm closing it, I'm going like this. And at the same time, I'm cleaning the tap. Yellow. And a pink. Okay, now we cannot paint on the shiny surface with the acrylic paint, so I need to give it a couple scratches to the nails we want to paint. So that's this nail here. And I'm just giving a couple scratches to it. So if I wouldn't top coat it and I would make a mistake, I wouldn't be able to wipe it off. But now, because we've got a top coat over it, it is okay. We can wipe it off the painting if we don't like it. Okay, and then I will do something here as well. When you buffing now over the chrome, make sure you do not over buff it, because obviously you would take off your chrome. So I'm just doing a gentle scratches, just like this. That's plenty, that's enough. Clean the entire set. Obviously things looks messy. Once we clean and wash the hands, everything will look much prettier. And then we are going to use a drop of the water, a baby wipe, and the master brush. So that's the nice and small one stroke brush. And then let's start those painting. So I have bring a little bit of water. You can also even do like this, like bring some water into your paint, so they will kind of last you longer. Bring the water in. Flatten the brush, make sure it's nice and flat. Look at the shape of this brush, it's not dry out, as it doesn't have any paint stuck in there. Then pick up the white and pick up the magenta. Start mixing those two colors together. I don't want them to be too separated, like as you can see it, I've got those colors almost blending. Dip in into the yellow and the white again, so I will get a nice color mixture. And I do really take time when mixing those colors, like you don't want to do it too fast. Fantastic, I love this color. And now let's start painting the flowers. So I want them to go outside. So first of all, we are going to start painting the first petals. This is amazing color combination for a rose. So you can see it. I've got maybe a little bit too much water on my brush, but I still quite like it. So imagine how I was struggling painting it with my left hand. Okay, another wee button here. Let's start painting it there. I love how the brush, the shape of the brush does the work for me. Nice angular one. If you want, you can, so now what I'm doing is I'm going into the same places where on my mixing palette to grab an extra paint on my brush. Now I don't like how see-through this petal is, so go over it, but you cannot go over the same petal until it's dry. And by lifting the brush up, I can kind of check where I am. So I tend to lift my brush up quite often. Tiny bit of this magenta color. I have picked up quite watery one right in the middle. Then go into my mixture again. Let's do a closing for this petal. So just pretty one. I love this color, actually, mixture. Make a closing here. Make another one in there. Slightly bigger one. And then pick up the colors again. So I pick up more magenta, that's why I can go straight away into my yellow to create this wee orangey color. The consistency of the paint, you wanted it to be kind of creamy consistency. You don't want it to be too dry because that will keep damaging your brush. You want to make sure you've got it nice and creamy consistency, which paints really easy. Okay, I quite like it already. Let's do another one in here. Now my brush start drying and it's a time to, after this petal, it's time to introduce more water, actually even now, more water into it. So I have dipped it in my brush and now it has too much water. So I'm going to touch it on the places where I'm kind of mixing my paint. Okay. And then we are going to paint a row of the petals inside the rose, so a bit more paint. Nice one. These petals are going to be very close to the ones which are above, but without of touching it. Now you have to paint very slow. Leave some gap and paint another one. I'm going to wait for those petals to dry before placing another ones. Okay, so this one is dry. I can go in here. Bit more orange. Oh, I mixed it wrong. I knew it, and I was thinking twice about it. So sometimes those happen, that's we mix it wrong. But anyway, my brush was too loaded with the paint. You can see it. I've got even the paint on those silver parts. So what I'm doing is I'm dipping in my brush, and when I'm dipping it in the water, I'm going like this. Okay, so
Pressing too strong. Do not cut.
no, so it's like I'm kind of flattening the brush and then going like this, so the paint which is there can get away. If you would go like this, you would damage your bristle. So you have to find the sweet point and then go like this. Okay, let's do that again. So that's how I'm doing inside, like this. Now I'm gonna show you that as well, because this brush isn't clean yet. You've got lots of stock paint in here. Can you see it? Yes, you can. You can clearly see it. In a case of this paint going really dry, what you could have is another dipping dish with a tiny bit of the monomer in it. Monomer is quite gentle on the brushes. I actually don't. I don't have it, so I will be more harsh on my brush, and I dip it in my brush in a tiny bit of the blue scrap. Okay, because that will dissolve this paint. I do not recommend it using the blue scrap for someone who don't know how to clean the brush. I usually, if I'm lazy to take out from the drawer, I would use the blue scrap, because it will dissolve the product nicely as well. Okay, you can see it is much cleaner now. Then you have to bring in the water. You have to bring in some sort of paint into your brush, so the bristles needs to drink the product you are going to work with. Okay, so always after any kind of cleaning of the brush, you need to bring back the product you are using, otherwise the brush is not going to behave. Never lick your brushes, guys, like this is unacceptable. I quite often go like this, but as long as there is only water on my brush, so there is no products left, and then you've got nice and like basically almost brand new brush. If it does happen that you have used too dry paint and the brush went kind of like pretty messy, actually I might show you on this one, because I was painting, you can see it, there is a paint stock on this brush. I was painting, and I will show you how to bring it back to life as well. Yeah, it splits because I didn't clean the paint properly from this brush. So I need to first of all dip it in the water, leave it so the paint can actually dissolve in there, and then I will show you how we shape it, this brush nicely as well. Well, let's go back to those flowers. They start looking nice and pretty. And I want to go a little bit lighter maybe now, and with the tiny bit of the orange. Now my mixtures of the paints are become quite dry, so I'm not using the same ones what we had before. I've got like a new fresh space here. I actually even didn't use the light pink because there was no need. Maybe I should. Let me do something here. So when I'm painting, it will be nice to have some flower there. Just so when I'm gonna record some future tutorials for you guys, you will be able to see something on my thumb. So lots of nice, beautiful touches. Don't make them too strong, too straight, like you want the petals to, you know, go like a bit wavy, like there we are. That's quite nice. Some baby bats in there. One on the top. Darker middle. Pick up the space like which is a bit empty. So where you've got the gap, Here I can go a bit higher and bigger. That's blended really nice. I love this one. Again, more paint. And you can see it, my brush starts splitting, means it's a bit too dry. Again, bring a tiny bit of water. Lucky, stop snoring. Oh, he's like unbelievable, you know, guys. He always has to be here when me recording. Nice and pretty petal. He snores really bad. Okay, let's do the same in here. Now I need to twist my hand a little bit. I would do the same on the client. I would just, if it's necessary, sometimes I would place their hand upside down. So when you see me painting on those, how you call it, on those tips, guys, like, and I'm going like this, you can do that with your hand as well and with your client hand as well. Like, it's just much easier. Obviously, I should have something supporting me. There we are, some acrylic powder. Normally when I'm painting and I do not record, this is too dry, I would support my hands very close to my chest. I find that this is the comfiest way, like, because my hands don't shake then. One more petal there. Now we are going to get into the detail, which is going to be harder and harder. So the brush needs to be quite straight and the paint needs to be picked up nice and clean. Because now you have no room for a mistake. So I've got quite clean pickup of the paint. Just a drop of this yellow. Perfect. More with the tip of the brush. That looks awesome. Tip of the brush. Okay, pick up the paint again. We almost actually done. I wish we could continue because I'm enjoying it so much. I love painting one stroke. And I'm so happy actually I've got it on my nails, finally. A wee small petal there. Just like a 2 touches of the brush and one more in here. Okay, let's add some leaves. Now, because I don't want the leaves to stand out too much, what I'm doing is I don't clean my brush and I'm just picking up those green and a yellow to create some sort of dirty green. So the leaves are gonna be green, but like kind of dirty green. And I want some leaf in here. And in there, maybe do a bit more green. We can place one in there. Just a touch of the brush, guys. Yellow. Something in there. And in there. And in here. Just a wee tiny bits. I don't know, I'm not the fan of placing too much of the green colors into the, like when painting the flowers. Now my brush, I have no time to clean it. So what I'm doing is I'm introducing lots of water and let this brush soak in. This one probably did soak in. No, it didn't. It's still quite hard. It doesn't bend nice. So I'm kind of bringing in lots of water and dissolving those paint, rolling the brush into a nice flat shape. And if this wouldn't work, then the monomer will do. So let me check how the brush, I think it's actually, okay, it did soften. So you can see it by having a patient and leaving the brush on the side, it solves the issue itself. Okay, we are gonna grab some white and we are gonna use also those wee greeny color which we have created here. Okay, so I've got those green color and go around the back. Press harder and then lighter. When painting with the detail brush, I love to use lots of water. And we have created a beautiful bed. Water in so the brush doesn't dry. Do this, no we can't do the same in here. Bring the water in. No, and that's it. Okay, no, I have to do it here. And there. Like it's hardly visible, but it looks awesome. That's it. That's it. No, I will not want to finish it. That was too much. This white was so strong. That's I had to blend it. Okay, let's grab some white. So clean my brush, lots of water in, and a tiny bit of white on the side. You can see it, I've got it there. Clean even more. Okay. So check how my brush is. I'm not going to go to the most important point because I don't know how my brush is gonna behave yet. Oh, it's behaved fantastic. I can go in there and just highlight those places. You can see there is hardly any product on my brush. Prolong this petal here. Highlight this one. Highlight this one. And as you can see it, when I'm highlighting, this one is a quite strategic one. I love how it goes. Awesome. We swirl a bit. Again, more water. I actually love this rose. So pretty. That's enough, leave it alone. this one. Again, more water in. Wish I could paint it like this with my left hand. I think that's it. Okay, don't want to overdo it because I quite like it. And because I have painted those darker places, my middle is more visible, like, you know, the splash of the color which I did with magenta. I love the twist in this petal. And I break it. No, I didn't. It's bend it. Okay, I think that's pretty. Kind of feel like this rose is missing a one. No, just leave it. Just leave it. No, I'm happy with it. I'm not going to do anything else. I will have to finish my thumb. Obviously, you can see the difference in between the quality of the flowers. Now let's do the magic, because once we put the top coat, things looks even prettier. Like they look amazing with the one stroke. I love this middle finger. So top coat in. And you know, there was actually post on Insta of the Kylie Jenner wearing a dress with those sort of roses. That's where I got the inspiration from as well for this set. We might actually put the picture up as well of those dresses so you can see it, guys. Oh, they're so pretty. I love this rose. So awesome. I could actually do with the dress like this as well myself. But yeah, maybe in 100 years time. They must be so expensive. Oh, I love them. I actually can't remember when I had some nice flowers set on my nails. I mean, obviously I need to clean them, but look how pretty those roses are. I'm going to cook them, and then you will be able to see them in a nice thumbnail picture. I'm sending you huge glittery hugs, and bye for now.